Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 isn't a remake, remaster, or anything of that nature. It's a reimagining of the original Modern Warfare story told through a new lens, featuring both new and familiar faces. For fans of the original series, it's a great dive into a new take on the story they grew up playing, and for newcomers, it's a darker and edgier written story, but one that never dares to step near or ever cross any moral lines. With that said, it's no doubt that 2019's Modern Warfare is the most ambitious Call of Duty yet. This year's Call of Duty brings back the single-player campaign that was missing in Black Ops 4. Like other campaigns before it, it's fast-paced but surprisingly feels even faster-paced than usual. Call of Duty campaigns have never felt that long, but Modern Warfare's 5-hour adventure feels shorter than usual. Part of that I think is due to the pacing of each mission, always opening a variety of different gameplay structures. This means that I never felt like I did the same thing for too long. More surprisingly were the moments that slowed down the traditional gunplay. While jarring at first in comparison to what I was used to, taking the time to slow down and even put the guns down at times introduced some nerve-wrenching scenes. Scripted moments like this that changed the gameplay were refreshing and fun. Other sections gave me a general sandbox with no linear structure, just an objective. This means that I was open to approach it in any way I wanted, whether that's guns blazing or tactically taking out the lights and sneaking up on the enemy. The level of freedom and choice here was thrilling. This reimagining brings back the series' favorite, Captain Price, while telling you the story through the eyes of different forces across the world, from the Metropolitan Police Force to the Resistance Force in a different fictional country. The different perspectives offer unique mission types and vignettes into the narrative. More often than not, this tackled dark and uncomfortable situations, and it certainly made this reimagining feel like an edgier entry for the series. However, just when I thought the moral line was about to be crossed or stepped on, the game would quickly backtrack on it. For a game that sets up the campaign trying to have you question who's the bad guy and who the good guys are, the story quickly gives you its own choice on who is the real villain of the story, and sadly that villain isn't too memorable. Moving on to multiplayer content, Zombies mode has been replaced with Special Ops. They feature a variety of missions after the campaign meant to be tackled in any form or shape you'd like. These missions are heavy co-op based and are placed in large sandbox maps where you can plan out your way of attack. Different objectives mean different plans and loadouts for them, adding a sense of freshness to each mission. I just wish that the difficulty for them wasn't so attached to the number of enemies that spawn into them. As for the traditional multiplayer, it feels new yet familiar even for those that picked up the most recent Black Ops 4. Some quality of life changes have added some layers of strategy. Aiming down sights now lets you mount your weapon if you're near a flat surface, helping you keep a steady aim during heavy firefights. Additionally, you can now reload while aiming down sights, though at the cost of being vulnerable for a short period. One of my favorite new features is being able to slowly crack open a door. In addition to peeking inside, it let me throw in a grenade without leaving myself completely vulnerable. Changes like this help flesh out the metagame without completely breaking the foundation that Call of Duty was built on. At launch, there's a total of 10 maps across a few new and familiar game modes, with more free content promised for the future. All content is shared equally across every platform except for the survival mode that's exclusive for the PS4 up to a year. The maps in this year's Call of Duty didn't grab my attention much. They're pretty, but rarely did I ever feel excitement for any of them outside of the As Here cave that I got used to, basically because I played the beta so much. The rest of the maps feature layouts that more often than not cater to the camping playstyle, though luckily anti-camping equipment is there to save the day. Outside of the traditional game modes are two updates with Gunfight and Ground War. Gunfight offers a thrilling 2v2 mode that either has you picking up weapons across a small map or upgrading your weapon with every kill you get. The layout for matches made each one feel swift but exciting. Ground War on the other hand has gotten some major map improvements along with 64-player support. While gameplay feels familiar as previous entries, the new maps here feel much better suited for the gameplay along with the new player count. What I enjoyed most with this year's entry is the progression system for guns. As I used weapons more times, I'd slowly unlock attachments for them that only helped diversify my setup for various objective game modes. Trying out new attachments and experimenting with my favorite guns was easily one of my favorite parts of the multiplayer. Loot boxes for progression or unlockables are gone with this entry of Call of Duty, but cosmetic microtransactions are still available. Call of Duty this year didn't drop the ball on the visuals. I usually tend to prefer the Battlefield look over Call of Duty, but the table has turned this year. Modern Warfare has gone a massive visual overhaul and it's most apparent in its lighting design. The sights here are jaw-dropping. The way light blooms through curtains in the room and the way the sun shines as the light hits the side of a building, it's beautiful. Character models are some of the most realistic I've seen in a modern action game like this. Captain Price's new character model looks fantastic. The sense of realism is masterfully captured with the subtle details that go a long way to make visuals so immersive. Taking out an enemy, for example, doesn't just have them ragdoll, but fall naturally to the ground with a realistic thump to the ground. As for performance, Modern Warfare runs at 900p dynamic resolution on Xbox One, 1080p dynamic resolution on base PS4, and a dynamic 4K resolution on One X and PS4 Pro. Frame rates target 60 FPS, but rarely ever hit that on the base consoles. PS4 and Xbox One can hit as low as 30 FPS sometimes, while the Xbox One X drops to about 50 to 60. PS4 Pro seems like the odd one out, where the frame rate seemed more consistent at 55 to 60 frames per second, but without any screen tearing. Modern Warfare is easily the best looking game in the series. Pairing those visuals with the HUD-less realistic mode truly shows how much of an upgrade this is for the series, and hopefully shows what we can expect from the future. Part of the realism in presentation comes from the incredible audio design. Call of Duty has always done a magnificent job at capturing the audio for a variety of different guns they feature. Guns sound impactful, tough, and thunderous here. The thrash of a shotgun blasting out a shell as the enemy body slumps to the ground in sync with the bullet casing. Voice acting is well done too, with an immaculate work done by the cast. Barry Sloan playing Captain Price is different from the original Bill Murray work, of course, but it remains phenomenal. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is by far the most ambitious and formidable entry in the series this generation. Its presentation raises the bar for the series with an extraordinary new lighting system and audio design that gave me goosebumps with every close encounter. Its campaign isn't the emotional and moral line dancing campaign I was hoping it would be, but it's a solid campaign nonetheless. Just don't expect Spec Ops The Line quality here. Multiplayer continues to evolve, elevating what was already established with a good progression system and some fun new game modes. I just wish that I loved the new maps too. Overall, Modern Warfare lays a strong foundation for the reimagining of Call of Duty's most classic series. There's a lot of room for improvement here, but as a starting point, this is a great sign for the future.